Why wasn't Gamora at Tony Stark's funeral? If you're wondering why Gamora was absent from Tony Stark's funeral in Avengers Endgame, you're not alone. This question has puzzled many fans, especially given her significant role in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. To understand why Gamora wasn't there, let's go back to the events of Avengers Endgame. During the film, the Avengers used time travel to gather the Infinity Stones and restore balance to the universe. In the process, they encounter a version of Gamora from 2014. This 2014 Gamora is the one who appears in the final scenes of the movie, but she is not the same Gamora who was killed by Thanos in Avengers Infinity War. After Tony Stark's sacrifice to defeat Thanos and his army, the surviving heroes gather to honor him at his funeral. However, Gamora is notably absent from this scene. The reason for her absence is tied to a deleted scene from the movie. In this deleted scene, it is shown that 2014 Gamora did survive Tony Stark's snap that killed Thanos' army. However, she does not participate in the funeral ceremony. The directors, Anthony and Joe Russo, explained that this scene was cut because the funeral scene that made it into the final film was more emotionally resonant and a better way to honor Tony Stark's legacy. Essentially, the confusion around Gamora's absence stems from this deleted scene not being included in the final cut. The funeral scene in the movie focuses on the emotional goodbye from the heroes who knew Tony Stark, and including Gamora, who was not part of their immediate group at that time, would have altered the dynamic of the scene. Additionally, the runtime of Avengers Endgame was already quite long, clocking in at over 3 hours. The directors had to make tough decisions to trim down the film, and this scene, although beautiful and moving, was ultimately cut to keep the focus on the core emotional moment of Tony Stark's funeral. So, to sum it up, Gamora wasn't at Tony Stark's funeral because her presence would have changed the emotional focus of the scene, and her character's storyline was already complex enough without adding another layer to the funeral scene. The deleted scene clarifies her survival but also explains why she wasn't part of the funeral ceremony.